Welcome to No Clear Answer, where the truth is never certain. Like and subscribe, and let's move on to a real-life story. June 3rd, 1992. The city of Springfield, in the state of Missouri, USA, was waking up to an ordinary summer day. But no one knew that behind this quiet morning, one of America's most mysterious missing person cases was hidden. That day, 3 women, Sherrill Levitt, her daughter Suzanne Streeter, and Suzanne's close friend, Stacy McCall, disappeared without a trace. And despite the years that have passed, the case still remains unsolved. It all began after a graduation night. Suzanne and Stacy had just finished high school. They had spent the night celebrating and hanging out with friends. Their plan was to stay overnight at a friend's house. However, when the house turned out to be too crowded, they made a last-minute decision. The 2 girls decided to go to Suzanne's mother Sherrill's house instead. It would be the last decision they knowingly made. They arrived home late at night. Everything looked normal. There were no signs of forced entry at the door. Neighbors hadn't heard any screams or sounds of a struggle. But when morning came, everything changed. When their friends came to pick them up, there was a strange silence inside the house. The door wasn't locked. When they entered, there was no sign of the 3 women. The beds were unmade. Their personal belongings were still there. Wallets, keys, even cigarettes had been left behind. It was as if someone had caught them, suddenly, completely off guard. One of the strangest details in the house was a broken piece of glass. The glass cover of a lamp near the front door had been shattered. However, the pieces of glass seemed to have been swept up by someone afterward. Who had cleaned it? Why? This small detail became one of the biggest question marks in the case. The telephone was also part of the mystery. It was said that some disturbing phone calls had come into the house throughout that day. Some of these calls had even been answered. But when the police arrived, none of these records existed. Who was calling? And why? The absence of forced entry pointed to one possibility. The 3 women had opened the door willingly. Maybe it was someone they knew, or someone they never suspected. But whatever happened, once that door was opened, nothing was ever the same again. The police conducted a thorough investigation inside the house. However, surprisingly, there was no clear sign of a struggle. There was no blood, no chaotic scene of violence. This situation suggested that the event may have happened quickly and in a planned manner. The idea that 3 people could disappear at the same time, silently, seemed almost impossible. As time passed, theories began to emerge. Some believed it was an organized abduction. Others claimed it could be connected to a serial offender. Over the years, different tips were reported. There were even rumors that the women might have been buried beneath a parking lot. But no excavation, no search, ever led to a concrete result. One of the most disturbing details is this. Everything in the house looked as if life had suddenly stopped. Sherrill's bed, Suzanne's belongings, Stacy's clothes, they were all still there, but they were not. As if an invisible hand had erased 3 lives at once. This case was investigated for years by the FBI and local police. Thousands of tips were evaluated, but no definite suspect was ever identified. No confession, no bodies, and no clear evidence of what really happened. Even today, the same questions remain unanswered. Who knocked on that door that night? Where were the 3 women taken? And most importantly, how did they disappear without leaving a single trace? Some stories, no matter how much you investigate them, only lead you to more questions. The Springfield Three case is exactly that kind of story. And perhaps the most unsettling truth is this: sometimes answers exist, but we may never reach them, because some questions truly have no clear answer. Some questions never find an answer. This was one of them. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.